So let me ask you, are you able to read people's body language? I think as a woman, I'm sure the first answer will be yes.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I mean, I'll say yeah because I don't know. Because women, I think for us, we everybody language, like even for our spouses, if you know, we tend to kind of read meaning
Yeah.
into into their body language, into like, oh, okay, if it's like, if you like my husband is, if my husband answers me a certain way, I'm like, okay, why do you answer me? Why are you answering me like that? But it's
Yeah.
like, oh, I didn't answer you like that. But that's the way it seems to me.
Yes.
So yeah, we do read. Yeah, you can. I mean, you read body language. I mean, someone just rolling their eyes, you already know. Okay,
Yes.
if someone just the way someone looks at you.
Yeah.
So we all read body language, and that's what you say. Like, um, and for our kids, they read our body language,
Yeah.
and especially for kids born here, they're
Mm.
very confident in who they are compared to kids in Nigeria. In Nigeria,
Yeah.
in that, they can say their mind, they can say whatever how they feel, and if you don't look at them, they're like, oh, mommy, why are you looking at me like that? If you look at me a certain way, mommy, why are you looking at me like that? Or I don't like the way you're looking at me. So, but that we all read body language, and so you're right. Sometimes we're trying to get a message across. We need to be very careful in the way that we come across in our body language. It may just be okay, like your hand. Sometimes we Africans like to use our hand when we're
Mm.
talking, so we'll be
To
using our hand.
gesticulate.
Right. So all those things can like mean something else to somebody else, right? Like,
Absolutely.
right, the Americans they don't really use their hands to, like, they just talk. They don't really, but we Africans, we tend to use a lot of our hands to communicate, trying to kind of get
We're
that.
dramatic.
We're dramatic, right? So yeah, so we all do read body language, and we just have to kind of be careful in the way that we come across, because somebody else may not be able to, may read it a different way, and so especially for somebody who is not mature,
Mm.
can read in a different way, and kind of affects their what I say, kind of affects what is it, like, like someone who is going through, is already a very someone that is not secure.
Unsecure. Yeah. Yeah. Go affect their how do you call it now? Their
Yeah,
confidence. It could
right.
also their morale.
Their morale, right,
Yeah.
right, right. I mean, like, I deal with that all the time. I deal with it. I mean, like, oh, I don't like, what was she, what did she mean? The way she was doing her body
Mm-hmm.
language. Man was like, babe, you read meaning into everything. Forget it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can just go and think, oh, maybe they're mad at me. My,
Mm. Yeah.
yeah. So, but you go and you think about it, and so that's, I mean, we need to get to a point where we're kind of also tolerant of somebody else, and kind of
Yeah.
understand sometimes some of the things that we do it's not just okay, just make us okay, that's the way I am. No, you have to be get to a place where we're growing also in our communication, where some of the things that we say, or sometimes that comes out from us, or the way that we act, or the way that we say it, can affect somebody else. Like,
Mm.
I was saying really something. It's like sometimes, we just communicating the way we feel, sometimes communicating the way we act, sometimes it's just like a cancer.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a
Yeah.
cancer, because it affects somebody else, and then, but we're just like, oh, that's me, I need to get my point across. No,
Yeah.
we get to a place where we are tolerant of each other, and
Sort of.
and
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 and,
empathic.
and empathic. Yeah, yeah, very. Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to be empathic of other people too, right?
Absolutely. 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 Great. Great. Let's see what this other study guide carries for us. He's talking about to look at your photos, more like in terms of you prepare yourself to how do you dress to be able to make the right impact in communication. Are there particular dresses that don't make you comfortable, the ones that make you comfortable, because depending on where you're called to meet to minister, to
Right.
preach, or to give the talk, there might be different dressing that will fit each occasion.
Right.
Right. Some people seem to have to think that a coat, a suit, and a tie will fit every occasion. Well, that's not true, because we go to a suit and tie to a place where everybody is informal. Your
Right.
message won't get through. They're going to see you as an outsider. All right. If you go
Right.
to a place where everybody's wearing suit and you're dressing informal, unless they know you before, they're going to see you as an outsider.
Right.
Right. And that can affect the way your message is being received.
Right.
You know, and if you also go to a place that is formal, but you are not used to wearing formal clothing, and you push yourself and force yourself into formal clothing, they will accept you, but you will not be able to flow.
Right.
Because it's not clothing that you're used to, you
Right.
know. So you have to find a middle ground in such occasions. And in such occasion, you might even be allowed to be informal, right? But there must be a reason behind it.
Right.
Because if in a formal setting they call you and they know you are not a formal person normally, that means there's something about you that they want that is bigger and higher than your dressing.
Right.
Otherwise, they will not have invited you in the first place.
Right.
Right. So then you need to then go as the person they invited and not try to be what you are not.
Right.
Because if you dress in what you are not, that might stand in the way of the message, and that might defeat the intent of the invitation.
Right.
Know? So it kind of varies depending on the occasion, circumstance, you know, of the message you are trying to present. Do you have anything to say on that?
Well, I mean, that's right, because I mean, like if you're a director of a company or like a CEO of a company and you're wearing, I mean, you can wear jeans or anything, but like when you're trying to win a contract or trying to meet with other CEOs, you dress formal. I mean, it's just like also like in the hospital when sometimes the doctor wears scrubs like what the nurses wear, and they come to and make rounds, and the patient can just say, oh, nurse, and calls the doctor a nurse because she's dressed the way that the other nurses are dressed, and she's like, oh no, I'm your doctor this morning. She's like, oh, okay. So there are certain times where you can dress like you said, like formal, and there's sometimes where you have to dress like informal. If you're going to lunch, you dress informal, right? But if you're trying to win a contract, trying to do business, you want to be dressed informal. I mean, it doesn't have to be this right now. It doesn't have to be like a jacket and tie, and but you want to dress formal so that those that you're trying to talk, I mean, to talk to the other CEOs will take you seriously, right?
Absolutely.
Right. So
yeah. So that's important. I think that covers everything on this particular study guide.